Dustin's Vinyl. We talk about vinyl. What's up, Anthony?
Hey.
Yeah. Getting it hard on the axe. Uh-oh. That sounded a little inappropriate. What's up, buddy? Good to see you.
Good to see you. How you been?
Good. You heard you were just traveling around?
I was traveling, yes.
Yeah. Of course, it's always the case. You come to California, and then I just purposely try to get as many gigs as possible.
You're booking gigs. You're like, anybody got something out of town?
Yeah, you're always like, I'm coming to California. I'm like, okay, let me call somebody immediately. Could you somehow get me anywhere? I'll play at Denny's.
Utah. I don't care.
Utah. I don't care. I was in Utah. I was in Texas and Utah.
Wow.
We did 18 shows in 9 days. Pretty impressive.
18 in 9? Wow.
Yeah, it was a lot of shows. It was, I don't think I ever want to do comedy again. Too many shows.
How is it that, on the weekends, there's usually 2 or 3, but you were doing double
We were doing double shows.
Weeknights too?
Yeah, actually, it was 10 days. It was 10 days, 18 shows. That's what it was.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah, it's like that's what happens when you work with the guy who's in the Emoji Movie.
Yeah.
People get excited.
I'm giving you this emoji right now.
There you are. Look, you give that emoji a lot. It's the story of your life. Just, I don't know. I'm Anthony. I don't know.
It's a pretty good impression of me.
Oh, I can do it. We'll do it. One day we'll be each other. You wear a hat, and then I'll get a wig, and we'll just be everybody. Sorry, oh man, don't you hate when you're trying to do a Zoom show and then the Adobe thing comes on? It's like, leave me alone, dude. I've updated like 50,000 times already. Stop trying to bring me in
now, Adobe.
Yeah, God, Adobe, suck it. All right. Anyway, good to see you. So yeah, I was in Salt Lake, and I was in Austin. We were in Dallas, Fort Worth, and then Austin, and then we did the last run was in Utah. And Adam was there, but then he made sure that he went home early so he didn't have to see me. So
well, that's what we do. We just avoid each other. Yeah,
he pulled a Dustin on me, so that's what happened there. But yeah, it was really interesting. I was formerly a Mormon. I don't know if you guys know that much about me, but I was, and so. It was really interesting coming back to Salt Lake City because I'd never performed in Salt Lake before. I'd done some stuff in Orem. I ran a club out in Orem, Utah for about 2 years, and it was called Fat, Dumb, and Happies. And I booked a bunch of comedians. That was the name of the club. It was great. Really? It was ridiculous. That was the name, Fat, Dumb, and Happies. It was it didn't last that long. It lasted about 2 years. Yeah. And it was the first time I headlined guys like Pete Holmes and guys like Mike Britt. Like a lot of these guys hadn't performed outside of Manhattan. And then also nobody had worked clean before. So it was funny having Gino Bisconte have to do a clean hour. So, I think he had an aneurysm at some point during the show. But it was every comic that I sent out, Judah Freelander, all these guys, none of them had really worked clean, Utah clean, which is another kind of clean.
Yeah.
So it was a really funny, kind of experiment if we could pull it off. And so we had done that, and it was great. And then you realize you can't make money when you don't serve booze. You can only make so much money off Milk Duds and Mountain Dew. So the whole thing just exploded because nobody could, make money off of that. But anyway, so it was back, and I was there, and it was so funny. I had a little bit of a flashback because the first show I had a very hard time, because the Mormons kind of raised me. Like I had kind of a ridiculous family. But family was on drugs. Everybody was crazy. Police were called. It was like a horrible experience. And so the Mormons kind of took me in, kind of raised me, kind of like taught me that, not every family yells at each other. And so it was like a beautiful experience. But it's like when I'm in front of Mormon people, I was like, I couldn't curse. Like I felt like I was like, it was like doing comedy in front of your grandmother or something. Like I felt like I was just like, every time I'd go into a dick joke, I'd be like, sorry. And so it was a funny experience for me. And I was kind of filming something out there. We had a film crew come in, and I was filming a thing. I did some documentary stuff about being Mormon and not being Mormon. And it was pretty cool. And then at the end of it, the guy who books Dry Bar Special wanted me to do a special. So I'm doing a special the end of May. So it's pretty cool.
Wow, end of May? That's
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really cool. Yeah. So they booked me and all that stuff. So it was fun.
That's incredible.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. So who knew, like, going to Utah, you would actually have industry, like, see you on something.
Of all places.
I'm like, I'm in LA and New York, and nothing happens. But then I go out there, like, hey, here you go. It's a special. It's great. So I'm pretty excited about it. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool. It's So I got to be clean again, but whatever. I'm leaning that way anyway. When you know,
yeah,
it is funny because I work with Bergazzi and he's super clean. Then I work with TJ and nobody cares. And but working in places like Utah, it's like you're better off being clean. But at the same time, those people go wild because some of them were drinking and they're kind of what we call this thing called Jack Mormon. So they're just like they're just like losing it. Like, and that's kind of how I was when I stopped being Mormon. A lot of my 20s was being Mormon. And so I felt like I had to make up for time lost. And so that's why I went off the rails and I was like doing drugs and going crazy and stuff because it was like, so it's like, I'm not Mormon anymore and I'm going to make up for all this, So pull your boobs out and get your whiskey. Here comes Dustin. So it was like a crazy, kind of comeback of not being Mormon. But so yeah,
that's great.
So yeah,
that's great. Your fun. Clean stuff is great though, so I think
I'm clean. I'm pretty clean. Like I have like 3 dirty jokes. One of them is like jerking off in a Wendy's cup. I can let go of that.
Yeah, you were less clean when I first met you, but yeah, you've evolved over the last 10 years into a cleaner.
And it really is the way to go. Anybody that's not at least have that in their arsenal is really doing themselves a disservice financially. I tell you, because it seems people want to pay for the clean. So.
Yeah.
But Jay was saying I sold out. I'll sell out. I'll sell out. When you live in LA, you'll know. And
I'm trying to sell out hard.
So I don't want to put you on the spot. You don't want to talk about that other thing, right?
Oh, I'm not allowed to talk about it yet, but I will talk about it. I will talk about it on a future show.
It's a future show. Okay.
Yeah.
But so you wore a dress, right? Is that what you did?
I should have. I should have done the opposite of what I did.
It's okay.
I was taping. That's all I can say. I was taping the thing.
Because I wasn't here. If I was, I would have been your Mickey. If I'd have been here, I'd have gone with you. But
yeah.
I just gotta work.
I nailed the performance, but it's
now everybody's going, "What did he do?"
I'll be able to talk about it soon.
Oh, good. Well, let's bring in the other riff-raff on the show. Some more combo going. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for my dudes, Jeffrey Paul, Adam Holt.
Like this riff.
Right? It likes you, Jeffrey.
Anthony, you have a lipstick on your teeth.
Oh,
do I?
Stop. You can't go in and bully people, Jeff. I know you're bigger than me, but I'll go a couple rounds. I'll never go down.
No, you're
never go down. I'm one of those guys, those crazy skinny guys.
Jake
I'll
LaMotta.
keep getting back up. Yeah, I'll keep getting it back up. Like Train Spotting. Remember that little dude?
I love that movie.
Yeah.
He's like coming at people. Movies like that just make it great for skinny guys. Cool. Let's talk about this. So obviously some crazy shit happened, in the Oscars with the slap thing. It was just like, that's ridiculous. But I think the craziest thing about what's happened in the world of comedy is T.I. doing stand-up.
Oh yeah.
That's just, it just goes to show you that like people, it's so funny when people, because I think it was difficult for Jeff because Jeff came from being successful and doing stand-up, but I can't, in like a business sense. And then I can't imagine doing stand-up and being like a Grammy winner, and apparently with a Grammy when you take your dick out, but that's a whole nother Louis C.K. discussion. But hey, but this T.I. guy, I don't know if you saw the footage. There's a video of him like yelling at an open micer and like just abusing this poor girl on stage. And she's like, take your wig off and all this shit. And it's like, dude, first of all, it's an open mic. Like, it's bad enough everybody's there. And you're going to heckle? To me, I'd rather be slapped than another comic heckle me during my act. I'll be honest with you. Because I have been hit on stage, but I got punched real bad at a certain club, and where there's no security, and it was just like this guy just came at me, and like I might have asked for it, I whatever, but it was like you ever go to? I think did we talk about this? Where there's a guy we didn't cover this Will Smith thing, right? Okay.
No.
Yeah, where like somebody's heckling the whole show, and then by the time you get up, you're just angry, and that's what.
Oh
happened.
yeah.
And it was just like, and then he was like, said something. I was like, shut up. And I called him a word I shouldn't have said. And then he just like beat the crap out of me. And then like, there's no security. And I just got back up and was like, okay, so where are you from? Black eye, my hat's like this. Like, hey, what's going on? And everybody's like, nah, dude, we're done with you. I was like awkwardly trying to go back into my act. I was like, couldn't see. I was like talking to like the wall, you know. Yeah, it was rough.
Oh man.
You guys ever been attacked on stage? Anybody?
I had a guy try to throw a chair at me during my act.
Yeah, not as bad. Not as bad.
Well, it wasn't bad because somebody stopped him from throwing it. He picked up the chair like that, and somebody like grabbed it from him.
Then you would have had a better story. Then I was like, I thought about throwing a chair. Yeah.
Well, he came up to this. He came up right up to the stage, and he had the chair, and then they grabbed the chair from him. Somehow he was really drunk. He didn't understand what he had done wrong. Somehow he still ended up on stage with me. He was mad because I was doing a song, one of my fake kid songs, and it was about your parents dying. And
I've heard that song.
He was mad about it.
It's actually made me happy because parent.
But so then he ends up on the stage with me, and he's like, "All right, let's finish the song." I was like, what? You've never heard it before?
Yeah, I was like, can you just throw a chair at me? Because I don't want you to ruin this for me.
It was weird.
How about you, Jeff? You ever had an experience?
I had a guy.
You're a big guy, so
I had a guy want to attack me though.
He did. Oh.
Yeah, I was upstate in New York with another comic, and the guy was harassing the host, and then I was the middle, and he's cutting in on me. And somehow it escalated where I told him to go fuck his sister.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Oh.
So it starts to get weird. Okay, from that point, and the guy wants to come at me
because he probably likes his sister. I mean, I'm probably attracted to his sister. So,
but it makes the room weird. I have to do an extra 5 minutes to try and get the room back, and I'm able to do it. And then, the headline of Tommy Gooch goes up, and 30 seconds in, the guy starts with Gooch, and Gooch calls the guy a terrorist, and now the guy charges the stage.
Oh, wow.
They had security, and they take him, they throw him out. I'm sitting at the table where the comics are. The producer comes up to me because we're at a hotel up in the Adirondacks, what's up there, whatever. And she goes, let me know when you and Tommy are leaving. We want to escort you out. The guy says he's going to wait after the show. He wants to kill you.
Wow.
Wow. Kill you.
Yeah. So now I'm sitting there, and I mean, this is all I'm thinking about. I'm like, I'm not waiting till after the show. I'm going to go find this guy right now. We're going to have it out in the parking lot. I cannot get my mind off of it. I have to find this guy because I tell the producer, I was like, well, tell him when I get off stage, I stop being a comic. Okay. Yeah, so if he really wants, and I'm telling the story now, I'm getting mad about it again.
So you guys had a lot of close calls. Anyway, to remind you, I got hit on stage. So
no, this guy,
you guys got angry that a guys got mad. Yeah, but I literally got punched, and there was no security. The saddest part of it was
anybody jump in?
Nobody jumped in. And that was the sad part, is all the comedians just watched. I don't care if it was Carlos Mencia doing my act. I would have jumped in and helped a comedian.
Even if he was doing your act.
Absolutely. Because it's like we're a band of brothers.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, we're a band of brothers.
But that's the code. If he was stealing jokes at the exact moment.
Okay, Anthony, I get what that is. Okay, let's just say it was somebody I hated. Okay. Let's say it was the guy who stole my joke. Well, we all know who he is. But it's like he opens for Mencia. But I wouldn't have. I still would have jumped in and helped. It's like you don't do that. You don't touch me. You don't touch the other comic. Anyway, it's like you don't touch Chris Rock. He's the best we got. Like you don't fuck with him. So anyway, that whole thing is crazy. The people are like kind of going bandwagon at that, and it's like saying, "Oh, he stood up for his woman." It's like, no, dude, that guy's just mentally unhinged, and so
there's no excuse.
Did you see that Jada Pinkett Smith said that she wishes he didn't?
Oh, what an idiot. What an idiot. Because it's not a bar, dude. It's like he's not going to get nominated for shit. He's not going to get good roles anymore. He's the next Pauly Shore already.
Right. Isn't there a little decorum?
Yeah.
And
I
she's
would
full
hope.
of and she's full of shit because when you watch that back angle, she was enjoying it. She was laughing. She had no problem.
Nobody thought about the repercussions. And I'm
That's
more mad at
exactly
people
right.
standing up and applauding. Like, who are those people? It's like, I'm only going to watch foreign films from now on. I am done with Hollywood movies, unless you want to put me in a movie. And then I'll sell out again. No problem. But
let's
watching
write our own movie.
That's my time, and I'm not going to give it to you. But T.I. doing stand-up. This guy, and then here's the deal. It's like, you don't get to just come in and like with all this swag. You got to pay your dues. I think he should be barking. That's what I think so. They should put him on a corner. Should give him flyers, and he should earn his way back like every one of us had to do. We all had to pay our dues.
Free comedy.
Yeah. I'm sure he's probably doing bringers because he's got a pretty good fan base. But, he needs to get out there and pay some dues. Do some check spots, all right? Stop heckling comedians. But I don't know. It's always weird. And then it's weird. Then I found out that Hannibal Buress, who's a comedian, quit comedy.
He did?
Completely quit comedy and is now set on being a serious rapper. And
what?
So, it's real. You think I'm going to get fake news here on Dustin's Vinyl? I don't.
I just saw that he's headlining something.
I don't watch the same news Jeff watches. It's just real news.
Wow.
He's not headlining. He's doing music. He's a hip hop artist now. And so he quit his stand-up comedy career. There's all kind of articles on it. I found out from a source in Austin that he just came in and did no comedy and just did hip hop. That's what he wants to do. Just wants to be a rapper. And I heard some of it, and I owe his stand-up an apology. I'll tell you. Now,
I heard he's touring with Kid Rock.
Okay, really? Is that what you're looking up right now? Is that real?
No.
Oh, okay. That's a good joke. Sorry I missed it, but I thought it was real.
That would be
but maybe. I don't know.
I didn't know he was. I had no idea about this.
I can't believe that.
Yeah, but he's trying to be a rapper. Adam, do you have something?
Yeah, it said he. I guess he had a rap set at South by Southwest. So just maybe like a week or two ago.
Yeah, wow. I'm telling you. The guy's just going to do rap. He made his money on comedy and guest stars in movies and stuff, and he wants to just be a rapper.
Good for him.
I guess not really good for us, but maybe good for him. But I try to listen to one. It's okay, whatever. I would support people. He was kind of a dick to me, but whatever. I took care of him, and he was like, meh, the whole thing. Anyway, we won't bring that back up. He hit me while I was on stage. That's the guy. I used to be a little racy back then when Daddy drank. Anyway.
Oh, man.
But so there's that craziness going on in the world. And then we had some devastating loss in music. And, it's a lot of people get affected when and the thing is people try to act like, it's like, they make it about you or whatever. But I feel that when somebody who's an artist and that really inspires you and you love their music and what they do as an artist, it's like, you get affected by it. And it's like, you feel it. It feels like family that's taken from you, And so Anthony, why don't you tell us a little bit about what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Taylor Hawkins, drummer for the Foo Fighters. He died, on March 25th while Foo Fighters were on tour. And, there's not a lot of... I don't get affected with every celebrity death, but this one, it still doesn't feel real. I've been watching... I've been listening to the Foo Fighters since I was a kid, so I've seen Taylor live a ton of times. Since the late 90s. First time I saw him, I think it was a summer festival in New York. I saw them open for the Rolling Stones when they were doing the Color and the Shape tour. And I've seen them do it a couple of times, but on that show, they had two drum sets. And so for the beginning of My Hero, it's Dave and Taylor both playing on the drums and stuff. I've seen them do stuff like that a couple of times. And I've also seen Taylor. He had a couple of side projects too. He had Taylor Hawkins and the Coattail Riders, which their first album is just great. Just he had such a good voice and such a great drummer. But I saw them live in New York. I think it was at Bowery Ballroom. And it was awesome. He's like they would put the drums up front, and then it was the guitar player and the bass player just right next to the drum kit. And
That's great.
And he was so good. His voice sounded good even while he was playing drums, and he's just an incredible drummer. And I, probably, I mean, the only drummer that I can think of that could be in a band with Dave Grohl and make that work. Like Dave Grohl looked up to him as a drummer, which is not always the case. It wasn't the case with the original drummer for the Foo Fighters, William Goldsmith, who had his tracks re-recorded on the Color and the Shape. Dave Grohl just went in and was like, "Nah, I could do this better." But with Taylor Hawkins, he looked up to him because they were very different drummers, and I think Taylor was actually a more technically proficient drummer than Dave Grohl. But Dave Grohl's got that reputation,
Yeah.
So that's it. He was one of my favorite drummers. I think he was one of the greatest drummers of all time. That's a tough one.
Yeah. He drummed with Alanis Morissette, which I thought was interesting. I had no idea, and I always wondered why the drumming was good on that.
Yeah. He left her touring band to join the Foo Fighters, and she was like the biggest act in music at the time.
Sure. Yeah. And I like her, actually. I like her music. I think good. But it was funny, and it's like we were having some thread. It was really hilariously ridiculous because I was sitting there, and it was like I just watched Dave Grohl have a conversation with Pharrell about him pretty much shitting on himself as a drummer.
Oh yeah.
And he was just saying, the guy Pharrell was like, "I'm not like you" or whatever. And the guy's like, "You got to stop calling me a good drummer" or something like that. He's like, "Look, I ripped off people from the Gap and all these bands."
Oh yeah.
And
it was like,
he was saying,
that was the beat that he took.
He was saying, I just took from all these like funk bands and whatever. and then something came up, and then Jeff comes in and says something like, "You say he's a great drummer, it broke my heart" or something. And I thought you meant broke your heart because you didn't know that he lifted these beats.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So that I come in and I was like, he's a hack drummer, whatever. And then I say something. And then I come in and I go, now the kid, that Taylor Hawkins kid, he's good. And then I look on the thing and try to spell his name right. And then I realize he just died. And that's what you guys were talking about. And I'm like, I'm such an idiot. So
I thought you posted it.
No, I didn't.
It was Adam.
I posted
Adam posted it. Right. Yeah, we're all separate people.
Yeah.
And,
when it comes on, like your name comes first. It's under like Adam, Dustin, Anthony.
Yeah. So nobody knows who's what or whatever. So it's hilarious. But no, I had nothing to do with it. I had no idea until I'd actually looked at it. You guys didn't even tell me because I didn't figure it out until I'd actually looked on the internet. So it was just funny.
I got to see Taylor Hawkins with Alanis Morissette. On her when she toured on her second album. He played, and Garbage was the opening act. And
I liked him.
And then
he was still playing with her when the second album came out.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
And then I saw Foo Fighters when they opened for the Stones.
Yeah, me too.
And last week.
Stadium?
Yeah, last week I went to Starland Ballroom to see Dirty Honey and Mammoth. And Mammoth is Eddie Van Halen's kids band, Wolfie. Yeah. And they actually did My Heroes, a tribute to Taylor.
Oh, wow.
Nice. You don't have to tell us that because we cover the album here. We all know whose band that is. Are you telling the people? I think you were telling the people, right?
I'm telling the people.
Okay, good.
I'm not telling you.
How great was Dirty Honey? Or what is it?
Dirty Honey is
great, right?
They are the next rock stars. It's going to be
good.
It's going to be them, the Struts, Greta Van Fleet, Ghost. Yeah. That is the future of rock and roll.
Yeah, that's great. I heard them on Tidal and stuff. They're fantastic. They're really
cool.
Good.
I'm glad you like them.
And then somebody was talking to me about them and stuff, and so I had a conversation. But yeah, I think they are good. So Adam, how are you? Were you affected by the Taylor Hawkins thing? Are you a fan or?
Yeah, I mean, I was shocked by it when I sent out that link. It was I think it popped up in my news feed. It was breaking news, and when I sent it before even reading it, and I kind of thought, oh, is this a fake article? Or I couldn't believe it, but
it was Pitchfork because I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
I was like, this isn't real, and then I was like,
it was
Pitchfork. It's
just so out of left field.
Yeah, 50's young too. 50's really young, even for a guy that parties. 50's really
he was
young.
in good shape too. He had to be fit to play drums the way he did. So
that stuff takes you down, man.
Yeah,
doesn't matter if you're in shape or not. So get help, guys, if you're out there. Addiction is a problem, but people will need to figure it out. All right. Mm-hmm. So that sucks. And let's get back to us. We got 20 minutes, guys.
Oh, shit.
But rest in peace.
Get back to Dustin getting punched in the face. Okay.
I'm always getting punched in the face. It's not physically or just whatever. You know what I hate is when, like, do you guys ever get, Anthony, you probably get it. You're like me. But do you get people just saying stuff like they'll see your comedy and then they'll just try to give you advice or try to give some sort of negative thing? And I was like,
yes,
you really took the time to email me and tell me some shit that I don't want to hear. And then it's like, what is wrong with you?
Can I read you this thing?
Yes, please.
It's not advice, but I did this corporate Zoom show yesterday.
Oh, yesterday. Oh, this is fresh. Okay.
This is fresh.
It's fresh.
And this guy, I have to tell you because it's relevant to the to his comment.
Okay.
This is a guy he's in a wheelchair.
Oh God.
And he tweeted at me for no reason. I didn't know he existed before this. He tweeted at Anthony Kapfer, "Your comedy is so bad. I wish I was deaf instead of crippled." So that was today. That's some feedback.
Oh man, I'm gonna find this guy and push him down a hill. What an idiot! Oh, that's it is kind of funny though.
Pretty funny.
People just don't. They think they can just say whatever they want. Think they can slap you. Think they can say stuff. It's like,
Twitter is such a positive, uplifting place.
He had to find me. I didn't promote my Twitter on this show. This is a corporate gig. I was getting paid. I don't care if they follow me.
That's crazy.
But he found me, and just to tell me that.
Well, I think you're wonderful.
Thank you.
I think you're a great guy. And you have a single out, right? What's your single?
Yeah, so I'm starting, similar to Hannibal Buress. I'm starting a music project, a band, I guess, that is it's not going to be marketed as comedy, but if you like my songs already, you'll probably like this because it's still going to be humorous-ish. But the project is called Buzz Killjoy, and I have the first single came out the other day. It's called Grandma Taught Me How to Rock and Roll. So that's that's streaming everywhere now, and so check that out.
Can you play a little bit of it at the end, maybe? Just
taste?
Cool.
Yeah, I'll give you a little taste.
All right. Thanks. Cool, man. So we missed last week because we're all working and stuff. So we did a rerun. I hope they ran a rerun, Dick Gregory one, which I bought a new Dick Gregory album while I was on the road.
Nice.
I went to a really cool record store. That's what we do. We don't do books here. Can you imagine if we did books? We'd have like 3 books, and that's the show for the rest of the year.
Out of the hat,
it's like, I'm still reading this book. It's been 6 months.
Everybody
books we had to read in high school. Yeah, I just read Johnny Tremaine again.
So we were supposed to do the top 5 female artist albums driven by female, whether it's could be a guitarist, it could be lead singer, it could be all females, it could be just somehow a woman involved because of Women's History Month. Now it's in April, so we kind of missed a little bit of the last month, but it feels women are still very relevant. And so let's talk about it. And so we were doing our top 5 of all time, depending on however list you wanted to do it. It could be something that was close to like a Rolling Stones list. It could be something that's personal. I personally chose 5 out of my collection because I felt like it was, this is not Dustin's Spotify. So I felt like it's important to keep the vinyl alive on the show. So, this is not something that's dear to me really, but it's fantastic. And this is Trio. This is the album. There's Dolly Parton, Linda Ronstadt, and Emmylou Harris. And this is a very cool album. I found this digging. This is their first debut album. It went platinum right away. If you know anything about these 3, I mean, they're just the fantastic, and to hear them together, the harmony with these 3 women together is fantastic.
I want to check that out.
It's really good. It's really good. And they only made 2 albums, and this one did extremely well. I don't know if the other one did as well, but it did pretty good. And it's just I haven't listened to it tons. But I do every time I listen to it, I love it. It's all original songs on here. It's really good. If you get a chance, check this out. And it's like, a lot of people sleep on Linda Ronstadt, and I don't know if there's an amazing documentary out on her. I believe it's on HBO. And I think she had the greatest voice of all time because she could do so many different genres. She did country, she did rock, she did pop, she did gospel, she did Spanish. Like, she did all kinds of stuff.
She did Spanish. Whoa.
She did. There's an album in Spanish that she did because she's her dad's Mexican or something, so she speaks Spanish and stuff. But she did like a tribute to him, kind of a instrumental thing with the Spanish music, and she sang. It was great. But
she may have won a Grammy for a Spanish
I think she did.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she's got a great voice. And then we all love Dolly. And I love Dolly, even though I'm still mad at her for doing 2 songs at that concert I paid $300 a ticket for. Poor Niles Rodgers. Poor Niles Rodgers had to save the show. It's like, I was like, but he did good. But anyway, this is a great album. So this is one of my top 5. And then here's a different one here. Let's see. I have these little cards here. So this probably didn't see this coming, guys. This is
yes. Little Alison Moyet.
Yes, Alison Moyet and Vincent Clark of Erasure and Depeche Mode. He wrote a lot of songs for them as well. And originally the name was Yazoo. And but America was like, no, dude, you're gonna have to keep it simple because we're confusing it with that chocolate drink. So they shortened it to Yaz. And this is a really cool Alison Moyet. Another one people said on her, she's got the crazy beautiful voice. And she I think a lot of the stuff she did after Yaz is a lot of kind of jazz oriented and kind of theater stuff. But this is kind of a new wave dance music. This is one of the albums. The reason I chose this because it's dear to me because it was like there was a time in my life after during high school when I started listening to stuff that wasn't on the radio, and that's when my music kind of interests started getting better because people was like, hell, you got to listen to this. We're all listening to Depeche Mode and all these stuff because they were popular at the time, but a lot of people Yaz had already come and gone. And so this album, I believe it came out 84, maybe 82, maybe 82. I didn't write that. 1982. And so it's got the guy from Erasure and it's got Alison Moyet and it's fantastic. I love all these songs on here. Midnight is probably my favorite song. The way that starts, midnight, cool outside. It starts going, it gets into it, man. It's such a great song. And Don't Go is a great song.
That is I'm so glad to pick that album. That's such an underrated song. I used to dance phenomenally to that.
That is the TikTok. We're going to make this TikTok happen. We're going to have Jeff dance to Don't Go, and we're going to get a million.
There we go.
People might finally tune in to Dustin's vinyl because of that. You're going to be our goat. You're going to get us in there.
So funny.
I love that song. I will dance to that song.
So so get Upstairs at Eric's. It's really good.
Love it. Great choice.
All right. So let's see. Second one here. And let's see. And you knew I'd choose this one because I love this beautiful woman. Nina Simone.
Mm-hmm.
I Put a Spell on You. This is a great album. It's what I love about Nina Simone. And a lot of people talk about Aretha and they talk about, Billie Holiday and stuff. And, what I like about her is she does her own music. Like she plays all of her own music. She was a classically trained pianist and she wrote all her music. She played all her music. She didn't have some dude just coming in and playing piano for her. Like she wrote the music. And I think that's a beautiful thing. I got hooked on to Nina Simone. When I started comedy, I went down this dive of learning about different comedians. And so I watched everything I could on comedy. And one of the things I watched was Playboy Penthouse with Hugh Hefner. And it was these black and white, kind of footage stuff. And they always had comedians like Lenny Bruce, Dick Gregory. And then they always had musicians on there. And it was basically Hugh Hefner would open up his apartment and people would come in and they have a party and somebody be playing piano and singing and somebody be kind of doing riffing as a comic. And Nina Simone was on there. And I just loved, her music and stuff. And then there was also a movie called La Femme Nikita, which was the original to No Point of No Return with Bridget Fonda. Mm-hmm. But the original, I believe they played her music in both movies. But that was another, and that got her popular and kind of the mainstream. But Nina Simone's a badass. She fought for activism and wrote songs that nobody had the balls to do, and kind of going after I think Alabama and different places. So this is a great album. Put a Spell on You, amazing song, and you're not going to go wrong with this one. So that's
Great documentary on her too.
Yes, great documentary.
Netflix, I think.
Netflix, Buttflix.
Yeah, her stuff is.
I need an intern. And we're gonna go to another fabulous artist. This is Janice Joplin.
Okay. Yeah.
This is Pearl. This is her last album. Unfortunately, she only had 2 albums. This album was by the Full Tilt Boogie Band, which is an amazing Canadian band that did a lot of great stuff in the 60s and 70s. And this is a perfect album. There is not one bad song on this album. I think Janice Joplin has the best rock female voice of all time. There is nobody that captures that rasp and that soul. It's hard not to tear up to some of like Bobby McGee, which is written by, Chris Christopherson. And, that's a great cover. And then just, everything on here is great. Mercedes-Benz, I love. And the reason I chose this as my top 5 is my mother used to drive a Caprice Classic, a car in the 70s, and she'd play this on 8-track on the loop. And I just remember being in the back seat of that Caprice Classic and listening to this song. I was like, who is this? And my mom would be singing along to the songs, and she always wanted a Mercedes-Benz. And then one day she, after her 4th husband, she married a doctor, and she got one. So in the end, she got a Mercedes-Benz, and that's that. And it's so funny. A lot of my albums is only 2. People only had 2 albums. Yaz and it's
Trio.
And Trio, 2 albums. Yeah, everything's 2 albums of me. I think that's about it. And then we all know I love Sinead O'Connor. So I've talked about this one before on the thing. I love this album, Lion and the Cobra, debut album, 1987. She was pregnant when she recorded this album.
Wow.
And so that was pretty rough. I can't imagine. Most women can't even leave the house pregnant. This one's recording music. And so this is a great, the title of the song is from Psalms 91:13, something like it. You will come upon a lion and a cobra. So, and it's interesting because she had all this like Catholicism bashing and stuff. But beyond that, I love this album. It's, and here's why I pick as my top 5. Also, when I was discovering music, 120 Minutes was the show that we all watched on MTV. MTV, that was the best show they had. And they always had this like new British, the Pixies. Everybody was, they would showcase all these cool bands that nobody was doing on regular rock radio or regular MTV. So you had to wait up on Sunday nights, late at night, just to watch this show. And I remember the video, I think Mandinka was one of the song on there. And Troy might have been the first single, but Mandinka was my favorite. Is still one of my favorite songs. And it's it's just so soulful. She's got this beautiful voice, and it's just different. It was something we'd never heard before. And then you look at her and you're just like, you're confused, it's just like, it's kind of got the Jada Pinkett Smith thing going, but she rocked it, she wasn't crying about it. So I like bald women. I don't know why Jada's getting freaked out. But I love this album, top to bottom. It's one of my favorite albums. And, Mandinka, Jerusalem, every single song. It's a little heavy. Once you get past Mandinka, it gets a little tearful and a little weird, but it's in a good way. I think it's a great album. So that's my 5 from my collection. And
nice.
I stand by them, and hope you guys get a chance to check out those albums if you don't know those. And we'll go to Jeffrey Paul.
I wish we're going to guess albums, because I would have never guessed.
Oh, I didn't know we were doing.
I wouldn't have guessed any of those.
Yeah. I would have never guessed Yaz for you.
Yeah.
That took me by surprise. Jeff, I love that.
You got a Pat Benatar in there.
Of course I did.
Anthony, you got a Breeders. And sorry guys. I just went fast because we were running out of time. Sorry about that.
Okay, so I'll go kind of quick because I'll go pretty much in order. My number 5 was 1971's Carole King Tapestry.
Oh yeah,
I think when you talk about a perfect album, that's something I think about. It swept the Grammys that year as well, and with big hits like "I Feel the Earth Move," "It's Too Late," "Beautiful," "You've Got a Friend," "Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow," "So Far Away." All beautiful songs. I think she's the greatest female songwriter to come out of that era. So, she was a building songwriter. So I always loved Carole King. So Tapestry was my number 5. My number 4 is in a completely different direction. A band that I saw in January, Hailstorm. I love the 2012 album, Strange Case of, with songs like Love Bites, their classic, I Love the Misery, Freak Like Me. I mean, it's a really great rock and roll album, and it kind of shows that women can do heavy rock, just as well as anybody. And Lizzie Hale has like the best scream of any female singer I've ever heard. My number 3 album is an album that we covered here, the 1981 Precious Time album by Pat Benatar. With listen, without this album, you don't have Lizzie Hale. Okay, so you have to go Promises in the Dark, Fire and Ice, Precious Time, Just Like Me, Helter Skelter cover. So I love that album. Number 2, who predated Pat Benatar, or at least contemporary, but a little bit before Pat Benatar, is the 1975 album Dreamboat Annie from Heart. And these are the Wilson sisters. And what I like on it is the opening prelude of Crazy for You and Wilson's guitar work. I mean, she is an underrated guitar player in her own right. She's great. She has a great voice. And Nancy Wilson, the sister, is just a phenomenal singer. She belts it out on a song like Magic Man. And my number 1 album for a female, again, an album that we covered on the show about a year ago, the 2006 release of Back to Black by Amy Winehouse, Rehab, I'm No Good, Back to Black, Love is a Losing Game, Tears Dry on Their Own, which is one of my all-time favorite songs. It's just, to me, is a perfect album. She was great. I wish she would have still been around today. I would have loved to see how she developed as an artist. But those are my top 5 female albums.
And as the Amy Winehouse album, what does it mean to you personally? Like, was it just like this?
What does it mean to me? Because it's I liked her. I liked her commitment. I liked her individualism. I liked that, she had this great voice, and through it all, she was transparent. She had demons. You wish someone would have intervened to help her. But, like this video, I watch Amy Winehouse videos all the time, of live performances, and you see her going on stage and slurring and stumbling, and you're like, what could have been? But she didn't hide it. She wasn't fake. She was so authentic. She was so her. We were just talking about this the other day with somebody, and they were comparing her to Adele. Now, Adele is a talent. She has a great voice. But I mean, when you talk about who was just so cool, Amy Winehouse was just so fucking cool. And I remember I was up in Cooperstown, New York. I was doing these interviews up there with some ball players, and I remember hearing the news. And that was one of those that really got me, that I just kind of stopped and had to kind of process it. I was always a huge Amy Winehouse fan, and that was one of those that really hurt in a special way.
Yeah, she was great. It's funny. I too just artists with demons. Even my pick. I got Janice Joplin, who basically OD'd, and then Sinead O'Connor just had a total mental breakdown in a hotel room on the side of the road. It's like a woman with demons.
Well, I told you I was there when she had the breakdown at Madison Square Garden. I was there. I saw it.
Who was this?
Sinead O'Connor.
Oh, she had it there. Oh,
yeah,
really? Wow.
It was a week after the Saturday Night Live incident.
Oh, you were there.
Wow. She comes out to Madison Square Garden. It's a Bob Dylan tribute concert for his 50th birthday, and she comes out and she can't get through her set. She gets booed, and she runs off stage, and she's being consoled backstage by George Harrison. And Dustin, I'm right there.
That's crazy.
I was right there watching this whole thing unfold. It was crazy.
I saw her live, and she her voice cracked after 5 songs. You can't just sing like that. I mean, Axl always had that problem too. It's you can only sing so high, on a regular, or your voice is just going to be done.
Yeah.
Anthony knows. Anyway, we'll go Adam.
All right. So for my list, I decided to go with first not use any bands that we've talked about their work on the show before. So I would have had Amy Winehouse on here, or Fleetwood Mac Rumors, or Courtney Barnett. but I decided to go with musicians or albums we really haven't talked about, and also bands, musicians that I've seen live. So
cool.
So my number 5 was Florence and the Machine's debut album Lungs from 2009. So I feel it's a very hi-fi sound. The music is, the way that Florence Welch sings, she's almost singing towards the cosmos. She's parting the clouds, singing to the heavens, and her music just kind of fills a room. It's very lifting. I mean, that album's got Dog Days Are Over. It's got Rabbit Heart, Raise It Up, Kiss with a Fist. You've got The Love, Cosmic Love, a lot of hits on it, a lot of great songs. I saw her play at Lollapalooza during a lightning storm, and it was just, everybody was just enraptured by her, and it was just such a phenomenal experience. Let's see. So my number 4, we actually just talked about her earlier in the show. Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill from 95.
Great album.
And I just revisited it this week. I'm actually going to go see her again pretty soon. She's touring right now for the 25th anniversary of Jagged Little Pill. Yeah, with Garbage. I think Liz Phair was the other one, but it got postponed twice. First for COVID, and then for a hurricane that hit New Jersey. So they just rescheduled it another time. But I went and I revisited it. It still holds up so well. It's it's angry, but it's also hopeful. It's an album that I think if it came out today, you would see so many people quoting it on social media, on TikTok, on Instagram, like just every lyric. It's I mean the hits, and even the lesser known song. There's not even that many lesser known songs. Almost every song seems to be a hit on this one.
Sure, absolutely.
But that's probably
she didn't like her documentary, right? Yeah. She hated it. Like the documentary came out, and she said, I didn't like.
Yeah, she disavowed it.
Right. Yeah.
I haven't seen it. Now I got to see it.
Oh, the artist didn't like it. Well, I got to support it. That's our mentality. Like, check that out.
All right, so my number 3, I would go with Bjork, Post from 95. I think she's one of the most unique performers out there. This is it's an incredible album. I got to see her during the Biophilia tour when she was playing at MoMA. And, everything in this Army of Me, one of the best opening songs, I think, of all time. It's got it has a bit, it's an electronic, everything about this album just kind of seems like it's heading towards a future sound. And, you have the modern things. Yeah. Hyper Ballad is incredible. And then she's got something like It's So Quiet, the cabaret kind of version of it. She's got a lot of range, absolutely unique, such a perfect album.
Yeah, she reminds me of Pat Benatar a little bit, Jeff.
He's nothing like Pat Benatar. Pat Benatar was actually good.
Jeff hates Bjork.
I hate Bjork.
And then number 2, this is a very personal album to me. The Cowboy Junkies, Trinity Session.
I almost picked that one.
I was thinking you were going to pick it.
Yeah. If I want to get, I don't have it on vinyl, or I would have.
Yeah, I actually one of the things I wanted to run out and get vinyl for each of them. I only got it for the number 1 album on here, but this one, it's at the local record store. It's going for $50. I'm going to buy it at some point.
Wow,
nice.
But this was my dad's favorite album. He turned me on to this. We actually, one of the last concerts I got to see with him was the Trinity Session being played in full, and this is just such a haunting album. It's just so beautiful. Margot Timmons has such an incredible voice. It's I think if it came out now, people would call it kind of dreamy, and she's got that kind of whisper singing. Everything, all the covers on here are excellent. The Hank Williams, I'm So Lonely I Could Cry. Of course, Sweet Jane, which is one of the greatest covers of all time.
Absolutely.
And then, songs like Walking After Midnight, Misguided Angel, which is just absolutely great. There's so much. I mean, hopefully we could cover this one day, this album.
Absolutely.
And then my number 1 album, which I actually have here, is the Yeah Yeahs' Fever to Tell.
Oh, wow.
There we go. And if it doesn't get hit with the light over there.
I know. Everything gets like a ring light on it.
Right. So that, to me, that is one of the epitome of 2000s New York City rock. And it is and for me, it's everything I love about rock. It's the album it's lo-fi, raw, dangerous, sexy. It's everything rock and roll should be. Karen O is just an incredible performer. They have. I think that, this is a really short album too. I think it might even be less than 30 minutes, but everything leads up to Maps, which is a mega hit. It's songs like Black Tongue, Date with the Night, Tick, everything. This is a truly incredible album. It's I think it's one of the best albums out of the 2000s also.
Awesome. Incredible. What was the name of that band again?
Yes. Yeah, Fever to Tell.
Very close to Yaz. That was amazing.
Or
Thank you for that. Adam's so good, isn't he? He's so good.
Oh yeah.
He just covers it in he's better than all of us. All right.
Now I gotta follow that.
He's so good. That's why he's on the show. He's my Kurt Loder. All right. What do you got?
Wait, who's next, Dustin?
My beautiful bestie, Mr. Anthony Kapfer.
We're out of time. So.
Oh man!
All right, get him. What do you got? What do you got?
So mine are not really in any particular order, really. But,
mine weren't either. I didn't have a.
Yeah. But I'll start with this one because Adam already covered it. I also had Bjork Post on my list. Just
poor Jeff.
Pitchfork gave it a 10 out of 10. Nobody sounds like Bjork, and it's
so cool.
Fantastic.
There's a reason for that.
Stop it! No heckling during the segment.
I didn't say anything about your whatever you picked. I also picked the band Sleigh Bells. I picked the album Treats.
Sleigh Bells. Tell us about them.
Yeah, it's like a noise pop, I guess, is what it's considered. There's sort of influences of hip hop and metal and punk and garage rock.
That sounds great.
With the just these kind of almost like dream pop vocals over this like noise.
Very cool.
Which I really like. I don't have it on vinyl.
Like what kind of noise? Like Kraftwerk kind of stuff, or like what do you mean by noise?
It's like they use a lot of drum machines and then like noisy guitars.
Like punk kind of, or
depending on the song. Some songs it's kind of punk or garage, and some stuff is like metal riffs and stuff like that.
Nice. I'll check that out.
Sounds
really,
great.
I like it.
Shut up,
really
Jeff. Anyway.
And what else do I have? I have.
Oh, come on, man.
The B-52s, the first
there
one.
We go.
There you go. Jeff could dance to that stuff.
Yeah. This is a band. My mom was into this band before I was, so I grew up listening to the B-52s.
So cool.
And just great. Just this one's got Rock Lobster, Planet Claire.
Great stuff.
It's you can't miss party music. Just
Planet Rock.
this one I also have on vinyl. The Beths.
Nice.
Future Me Hates Me. This is sort of if you like Courtney Barnett, this is along those lines, a little bit more kind of pop punk, maybe kind of like power pop. So a little faster, but they're from New Zealand, so the accent is similar. That's a great one, from start to finish. I think that's it. That's a great album. How many do I have left?
Is that 5?
That's 4, I think. So my number one.
Like
Huh?
Shut up. Stop it.
My number one, if I'm putting them in any kind of order, I'm going to go The Breeders' Last Splash.
Nice.
That's the one with Cannonball that I didn't bring to the show that you wish that I did. It's just great. I mean, just Kim. I was gonna because I have some Pixies stuff on vinyl, but Kim's voice. I mean, it's just incredible. So I wanted to pick one where her voice is showcased. Just great voice. The songs are like it's pop. It's noisy. The song structure is unconventional. I love it. It's great.
Great. Yeah, I actually have it on vinyl. It's great. When we went to the concert together, I bought that album. And you guys looked at me like, really going to buy that one? I was like, yes. I bought ease into the Breeders, guys. I got to ease in.
I bought Title TK.
Yeah. It was great. It's funny, the B-52s album, when I was in South America, and like we would do dances for like the kids to try to get them together, get excited about the church and stuff. And I only had 3 cassettes, and that was one of them. So we played like after a while, people were like, okay, no more B-52s. Like, no mas.
No mas. It's somewhat related because we were talking about Taylor Hawkins. Early 2000s, maybe 2003, I went to see the Foo Fighters. It was a Halloween show. They came out dressed like the Hives, and they did the hate to say I told you so. But at the end, for the encore, they started playing Planet Claire, and Fred Schneider comes out, and the Foo Fighters did Planet Claire with Fred Schneider.
Very cool.
And Taylor Hawkins on the drums.
Great job, Anthony. You did good, buddy.
Yeah.
Adam was a hard follow. You did great.
Yeah.
I would like to do an honorable mention from with a band that I love, Nashville Pussy, and their debut album, Let 'Em Eat Pussy, is reason I love this band. The guitarist, I don't know her name offhand, but she was. It's a woman, and she's amazing. And it's like to see a chick like just shred like that is like phenomenal. And so that's a band that I like. Good job, everybody. This was great. Thanks for listening and watching Dustin's Vinyl. It's getting exciting. We have a YouTube page that Adam put together for us. And so if you could please go and subscribe, get us some hits. We need to build and build and build, so we can make that toothpaste money.
Yep.
So get in there, guys. And we're going to play it out with Anthony's new single, everybody.
All right.
And
yeah. I'll just do like a verse and chorus.
A little bit.
That's it.
Just so you get an idea. All right. Okay. This is called, this is for my new project, Buzz Killjoy. The song is called Grandma Taught Me How to Rock and Roll. On the day that I turned 6 years old, that's when I first heard rock and roll on Grandma's stereo. She said she'd make me a big rock star, then she plugged in an old guitar. Then Grandma started to shred. Grandma taught me how to rock. Grandma taught me how to roll. Nobody knows how she got so good. Legend has it she sold her soul.
Yeah. I want to party with your grandma. Very cool. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys. Check out our YouTube page. Woo.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Great job. Love you all.